And the evidence shows that they've never stopped. It's just that people's belief patterns changed. So they no longer believe in fairies, right? They no longer believe that there are spirit beings around, blah blah blah. But of course, if those beings are real, they don't give a damn what we, well, they do kind of give a damn what we think. If they exist, and they do, they go on doing their thing, and they've gone on doing that, which is interesting. Occam's razor, that I gotta say that I could do a whole special on that. Basically, Occam's razor isn't as most people think. Always go with the simplest answer, because of course that's complete bull. It's actually don't. Occam's razor is actually something like, what is it? Don't multiply the number of entities in an explanation. As in, I should do a whole special on Occam's razor. People completely misuse it. It's not a bad thought, but people invoke it as if it was like the answer to everything. It's like, oh my God, you've said something slightly non-conventional. Occam's razor says we should go with the completely conventional explanation. Well, no. If you did that, then we would still be working on the mysteries of fire. So yeah, a lot of people, full bore woo on Boing Boing always saddens me. Yes, whatever. So again, a lot of people are basically just criticizing things from a position of ignorance here. Blah blah blah, microwave, blah blah blah. Mockery, various types. Right, burst note. See, there's one commenter here that actually does know something. He's talking about the nodes bursting from the internal steam again. So one person that actually knows what's going on out of like 60 comments here. Let's see, what else? Here's another guy. I agree with this. After having seen the intricate designs of many of these crop circles, I truly believe the real miracle would be if those were made at night by a couple of hicks with some ropes and planks. Yeah, I'll just comment about that a bit. There have been a couple people that have come forward, not very many, about making crop circles. Okay, they have not, as far as I know, invalidated some of the, like, I guess people just go, oh, crop circles weird, whatever. I mean, people aren't aware that some of these are like, one case I remember, one of these spectacular ones is like 400 feet wide, made out of like 90 separate circles. When you see it from the air, it's completely and utterly symmetrical and perfect, as if it has been, stamped by a giant Spyro gyro. And in the case I'm thinking of, I don't remember the exact crop circle, but there were guys on a nearby hill basically staking the place out. You know what I mean? Because they wanted to either catch people in the act or see what was causing it or whatever. And in this case, it appeared while they were there, but it appeared during the night when there was, like a ground mist and everything like that, during the hours of darkness. I think this is in the middle of summer, of course. That's when they tend to appear. And it was like, there was like 4 or 5 or however many. It wasn't, the hours of total darkness. So they're like, again, it's one of those pure logic things where to say that somehow in complete pitch darkness, while people are, watching on a nearby hill for, listening for activity with equipment and everything, somehow people came in, made this gigantic, intricate, completely perfect formation with no lights, and so on. It basically, if you're saying regular humans did it in a regular human fashion, it would be more impossible than saying that something weird made it, And there's a lot of cases like that, and if if you have any reasoning ability, I mean, that all you need is one case. All you need is one, got guys ringing a valley, and then the 4 hours of darkness go by, and the sun comes up, and all of a sudden there's this gigantic, super perfect formation that's basically impossible to be created. That destroys the whole humans created them all hypothesis. Okay, and that has happened enough to completely ruin that. It's just that when I find that's what the paranormal. That's a big thing. Is like you could have all these bizarre things. You could have hundreds of people witnessing, a UFO phenomenon, which has happened. I mean, I'll get into that. I mean, people have seen like literally fleets, like at Mexico City. That was one big one. The videos are actually out there too. You can see them for yourself. But people will see this unbelievable stuff, and then a week later, one guy could come forward and he could be totally lying, and he says, "Well, that night I lit a Chinese lantern," which is like an enclosed little bag with a little candle inside, so it kind of luminescent, da 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 da. And those have fooled many people. But what I'm saying is, you'll have something that is clearly not that. It is completely spectacular and bizarre, and one guy can come forward and say, "Oh, well, I did again, even lying, and I did a hoax that night. I lit one thing and da da da," and everybody will be like, "Oh, well, that explains the whole thing." Gone, right? It's because they don't want to believe what you're saying. They want to dismiss it. It's not science. It's not even good reasoning. Let's see, whatever else. Again, disagreeing with the military thing because, again, the military has more than enough space to do stuff on their own, yeah. Let's see. More. Anyway. Now, I guess most of these comments, again, I guess there really isn't a lot to say. I've pretty much covered it. Most of them are just talking from a position of complete ignorance. They're like, "Oh, Jack, well, he's got some education, but that doesn't excuse you from being a kook." They don't know anything about him. They haven't looked at his Wikipedia page. They don't know that he's got 3 different degrees in different fields: a PhD, a master's, and a bachelor's degree. All the rest of his accomplishments. Now he's published something slightly, outre on Boing Boing, so he's obviously a kook. I don't know, I have total contempt for the utter shallowness of most people's thinking. If I read something really weird, I'll go, "Well, that's really," but I'll look the guy up, or I'll think about it. Most people are just so dismissive, Well, they're dismissive of anything that's even slightly, out of their comfort zone, I guess. I just find that really Right, exactly. I agree with this guy here. Like he says, Occam's razor swings the other way, in that you get these insane formations. It's more difficult to believe. Well, I've already covered that argument. All right, well, geez, and that was almost half an hour. Yeah. Anyway, Jacques Vallée, good. His books are very readable. Good stuff. He's an original thinker, but he backs his stuff up with facts. I mean, with research. And again, interdimensional hypothesis. That's where I am on UFOs. I'll do a big special on UFOs at some point. But yeah, interdimensional hypothesis all the way. Though there have been things that may have been extra-dimensional hypothesis type stuff, like actual probes or something like that. The thing is, in the universe, there's actually a flaw. There's a major flaw that I call monolithic thinking, which many people make, and I've made it in the past, but I've tried to train myself to not make it. And what that is basically going, "Oh, I found the answer to this thing, and therefore everything in this particular mystery is this." You know what I mean? As in, like, well, yeah, extra dimensional hypothesis about UFOs, therefore they're all that way. No, you can't say that. I mean, you got to keep your options open. I'm just saying most of it fits more under that. But everything in the universe is too big and too varied for everything to be just, fit under one, tent, so to speak, or one explanation. All right. Well, all right. Got plenty more things in the 2 post about file, so hopefully I'll get to some more of those. Probably see you tomorrow. Later.